the Jaguar F-Type V8S. This is my dream car. It's the successor to the famous E-Type, which Enzo Ferrari himself called the most beautiful car ever made and ranked first in the Daily Telegraph's 100 most beautiful cars. So the F-Type has lots to live up to. After a day with the F-Type, I can say with confidence, it lives up to it. So, you always hear about addictive personalities. I can't do that, I've got an addictive personality. I can't get involved in it, I've got an addictive personality. So, can you man up and beat addiction? Or are some things too good to quit? I'm eating a hamburger. I think I might be addicted to driving this car.
Well, I'd like to become addicted.
This is Douglas Coleman. Douglas is the former medical director of the Western Canada Detox Centre. Specializing in addiction medicine, Dr. Coleman has had a long career focusing on the causes, effects, and treatment strategies when it comes to debilitating addiction. Okay, so Doug, addiction. What makes an addiction compared to something, I just like doing a lot?
It starts with that. It starts with I like doing it a lot. When it gets to the point where you lose control over your substance use or your behavior, whether it's alcohol use, marijuana use, heroin use, cocaine use, computer gaming, anabolic steroid use, anything that creates that feel-good hormone release. That's a dopamine release. It's the feeling we get if we knock the ball out of the park when we're playing baseball.
Right. So it could be anything. Addiction can be anything.
It can be any behavior.
It's not just drugs.
That's right.
It's not just booze. It's anything.
It's behaviors.
Okay, so if it's anything, let's just say, can't I just decide, all right, I'm not gonna do this thing anymore, whatever it is, gambling, golfing, drinking, whatever.
Yep.
Are people who are addicted just not trying hard enough?
There is no life more characterized by exertion of willpower than somebody with an addiction disorder. Binge drinking, for instance,
right,
is individuals exerting enormous amounts of willpower to not drink, which they manage to do for a period of time.
Right.
And then the obsession kicks in, the compulsion to drink kicks in, and they go off on these terrible binges. Sometimes they only last a day, sometimes they last for months. But that's what happens when willpower fails.
So once you're addicted, let's say you get past that point and you're addicted to whatever behavior it is that you're addicted to, can you get out of it on your own?
You're a pickle, baby, and you're not going to be a cucumber again.
Right. I do like pickles, but I'm not addicted to them.
No, well, yeah. I like pickles too, but I can quit any time.
So if you know you've got an addiction, is the goal to just bring it back to moderation, or is the goal to kick it altogether?
It's about changing lifestyle to the extent that the life subsequent to your addiction is very enjoyable and richly rewarding. You don't go to AA to stop drinking. Right. You stop drinking so you can go to AA.
Right.
So that's the point of recovery. The point of recovery is not to be a good girl, a good boy. The point is to have a terrific life. Because if it's not terrific, you'll go back to doing the thing that you think makes you feel better.
Exactly. So, is there a difference between men and women?
Yeah, you don't know that yet? Yep, there are pretty big differences. In my experience, I would say that young men are more prone to be addicted to these big, massive multiplayer online role-playing games,
yeah,
anabolic steroid use, and compulsive gym workouts. That tends to be a young man's gig as well.
Right.
Eating disorders, referred to as body dysmorphia, tend to be problematic in women. The male equivalent of that is a body dysmorphism that's associated with anabolic steroid use.
Right.
For instance, the young man who comes into my office at 5'7", 215 pounds, lean, and sees himself as small.
Right.
Won't sit down. He insisted upon standing up, balancing beside my desk with his hand on my desk, doing calf raises. That's addiction.
That's addiction.
Yeah.
If you're watching, do you include this part? That's addiction.
Yeah.
Got it. So I often hear like drug use, like say meth or something, right? Mm-hmm. Who are these people that think, I'm not going to be the one that gets addicted? I'm going to do it once and I'm going to be out.
I read a report where an individual was described by the reporter as having a recreational intravenous cocaine problem. There's nothing recreational about intravenous cocaine. There is nothing recreational about IV heroin use. By the time you've got to the point where you're sticking a needle in your arm, nothing's recreational.
Yeah, no one ever offers you an IV when you go to their house for a house party.
Exactly. Yeah. BYON, and bring your own needle.
Yeah. Then you know you've stepped over the line.
Yeah, you've leapt over it.
So what do you do if you think to yourself, I can't get out of this addiction, obvious addiction I have? What do I do? Where do I go?
One of the most powerful words in the English language, and I suspect in any language, is the word help. By the time somebody's had that insight, they're pretty well aware of the fact that they can't manage this on their own. So asking for help is the first step. The second step, which better be connected to the first step, is listening to the answer.
Right.
A lot of the adolescent guys, they'd come in and sit in my office with sunglasses on and expect me to sort of wheedle them, and I don't do that.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
It's your problem, it's not my problem. When you get to the point where you need help, then I can do something about it.
Right.
But until you're willing to listen to me, listen to your mom, listen to your counselor, until you've got to that point where you're genuinely willing to listen, you're still in that trouble place.
Right. Well, that was great. It was a good talk.
Good.
It's a comfy car, eh?
Oh, it's very nice. Driving in a car like this, you don't really want to drive this speed.
No, I want to give it.